We just saw one of the best World Series. I mean, since the Cubs came back and beat the Cleveland Indians, the World Series has always been the king of sports. And everyone talks about the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl used to be it. It used to be the big show. As of recently, not so much. And people are like, man, how is the World Series doing this? Is it because they play a series and the Super Bowl is just one big game? Well, that one big game, just to see who's the better team that night, it matters. And that's why the Super Bowl normally has its presence over everything else. Even the World Cup. The World Cup is like a tournament. And then it's like the championship game. But by that time, you've just seen so many games. It's like, yeah, the NBA Finals, it's a series, just like the baseball, best out of seven. But basketball, it just seemed more cut. It just seemed more dry, right? Nobody really attaches themselves to it. They don't really care. They'll watch the finals, and then they'll get disinterested. People even forget you won it. But the World Series is magic. It's all magic. Every year, the cream rises to the top. Every night, you're going to see something magical. Something special happens in the World Series. I can't name you a World Series and something special didn't happen during a World Series. And that's what we're talking about. That's what sports is about. And the reason why baseball is better, it isn't because the sport or anything like that. No. The reason why the World Series is it for me is because the best actually plays the best. I truly believe you get to see the two best teams playing. Now, don't get me wrong. They want to push the Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series. They did their best to get those teams there. They gave them the horses. They gave them the pitchers. They said, you got the money. You got national TV. It's Dodgers time. Dodgers versus Yankees. Let's get it. They would have made a killing off of that series. But you can know what everybody does. You can know which guys are hitters or which pitchers don't have this and that. But on that night, that given time, the Yankees didn't have a prayer. The Houston Astros was ready for them. They're young, they're power swingers, and they know pitches. They know. So for them, it's different. They know the situations. Now, the poor Yankees never knew what hit them, and neither did the Dodgers. The cream rises to the top. and a crucial game eliminated. Kershaw was brought in instead of the bullpen that helped them win over 100 games this season. They neglect their bullpen and decided to go with Kershaw. And in about 4 pitches, he gave up the game in the series again. So now a team that had never been this far, who was 19-33 in the season, nobody thought about them winning a World Series. It's about who gets hot late in baseball. And the baseball keeps the dream alive. That's why it's America's pastime. It keeps hope alive that any year could be another team. It could be somebody else. A team that comes together right at the end of the year, or people know their role so well that everyone is like an oiled engine that's purring like a kitten. All the pistons are popping and running together. The cylinders are going. This is the sport that we fell in love with. And as much as they tried to control the narrative, they tried to turn the page, we end up having the two best teams, the Washington Nationals and the Houston Astros, playing each other in a World Series. People were outraged, felt at least one of the Dodgers and one or the Yankees should have at least made it if they weren't going to have both of those teams in there. I'm like, I know the league was sick because they would have wanted that. They would have wanted to have those Dodgers get it. Just think about the ratings drop of having Houston and Washington instead of the Dodgers in there or the Yankees, who they spent all their time marketing and advertising. The game happened. And you can't take home runs away. It's kind of hard to do that when you're knocking balls over the fence. You might be able to say what's a ball or a strike, but when a guy takes you yard off a ball, then don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. Now, when the pitch count and you can control balls and strikes, that's a whole different situation. You can get a fighter, I mean, not a fighter, but a player, another opposition into deep trouble, in baseball, to get them in an 0-2 count or a 1-2 count when it should really be 2-1 in his favor, changes the way you bat. Now, they did a lot in this series to try to control the narrative, but there was nothing they could do. These guys were hitting over the fence and they were ready to go. Well, to the Yankees, it's back to wait till next year. And for the Dodgers, it's wait till next year. And to the Yankees, it's wait till next year. It's all just waiting till next year. Well, this was the year you guys were supposed to be a lot better. So, we'll see what happens next time around. But you look at the NBA, no one cares. I mean, really, no one cares. They can win an NBA Finals, nobody cares. They can run up and down the court and say, oh, nobody cares. So they thought Steph Curry won again over Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard won, and he's the champion now, but they were like, you're not the champion here in the house. So the Toronto Raptors, when people starting to forget they won it in the NBA. That's how crazy it is. You get forgotten about. Kawhi's the only thing they talk about now, and he barely talks. But it's his city. The NFL, the Super Bowl. You know, if teams they trying to carry the teams that they like and cater to them and give them calls and breaks to bring them up, and these young boys aren't having it. These boys are fighting back. They're like, we might be young, but we fast learners. We getting it together, networking. Now, of course, the decision to be you guys. Cause I'm sipping on this tea, but I'm just curious to know, what do you think about it? Hmm? Do you agree that the World Series is the better? Not the which one got the bigger ratings and all that. Out of the three, which one is the better? And the World Series just can't be touched, in my opinion. Then the Super Bowl, then the NBA Finals. So y'all let me know, you know, where they all rank. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get out of here. I don't want to hold you guys too long, so don't forget to hit the Cash App up. Support your boys page, Cash App, Carcino, and that's it. So that's it. So I'm gonna get out of here, finish my food, and relax. Y'all take it easy.